Have you ever felt that gnawing anxiety in the space between wanting something and having it? That feeling like you're doing everything right. You're affirming, you're visualizing, you're scripting until your hands cramp. And yet, you look up, and the world outside of you looks exactly the same. The silence from the universe can be deafening, can't it? It's in that silence that the doubts creep in. Did I do the technique wrong? Was my belief not strong enough? Maybe this doesn't work for me. We've been conditioned by this corner of the internet to believe that if it's not here in 3 days, we've failed. That we need some newer, faster, more powerful secret technique to bend reality to our will. But what if I told you that entire struggle is based on a fundamental misunderstanding of time and creation? What if I told you that your manifestation was already successful the very second you had the desire? That it isn't a matter of it working or not working, but a matter of understanding the elegant, invisible mechanism that is already in motion. This isn't about a new technique. In fact, it's about throwing the obsession with techniques away and finally understanding the engine that makes them all work. All manifestation, every single time without exception, is instant. And once you truly grasp this, the anxiety melts away and you can finally breathe, because you'll realize the universe said yes to you the very moment you asked. So let's really unpack this. Forget what you think you know for a moment. Most of us think about manifesting in two parts. You set an intention and then you wait. You hope. You look for signs. And in that waiting period, we start to fiddle. We try to force things. We micromanage the universe. This is where we get completely tangled up. The true process is much simpler, much more elegant. Part 1, you set an intention, a clear, singular desire. It could be a passing thought, a deep visualization, a single affirmation that resonates in your soul. That's it, that's your only real job. Because the moment you do that, the second part happens instantly, automatically, and powerfully, far beyond the reach of your conscious mind. The moment you conceive a desire, a pathway is created. Neville Goddard called this the bridge of incidents. I want you to let that phrase sink in, because it is the most liberating concept you will ever encounter on this journey. A bridge of incidents, an unseen sequence of events, a perfect causal chain, is immediately constructed in the background of your reality. Abraham Hicks calls it cosmic orchestration. Joe Dispenza might call it a series of synchronicities. Florence Scovel Shinn calls it unexpected channels. It doesn't matter what label you use. They are all pointing to the exact same truth. The how is already done. The path from where you are to where you want to be is paved instantly. Think of it like this. When you type a destination into your car's GPS, you don't then get out of the car and start trying to build the roads. You don't scream at the GPS, asking why it's choosing this highway over that one. You just trust that it has analyzed all the traffic, all the routes, and has calculated the single most efficient path to your destination. Your job is simple. Hold the steering wheel and make the next turn when it tells you to. The bridge of incidents is your cosmic GPS. The desire you felt was you typing in the destination. The universe, in its infinite intelligence, instantly charted the course. Your manifestation isn't somewhere out there in the future. It's at the end of a bridge that has already been built for you. The feeling of time passing is simply the experience of you walking across that bridge. It's inevitable. As long as you keep walking forward, you have to reach the end. This is why your manifestation is already a done deal. It's instant because it's inevitable. You see, the bridge has only one direction, forward. Your only job is to take the step that is right in front of you. And this is where that term inspired action comes in. What is that really? An inspired action is the GPS saying, turn left now. It's that sudden urge to call an old friend. It's the strange desire to visit a coffee shop you've never been to before. It's the inexplicable pull to start a new hobby or read a certain book. Let me give you a personal example of this. A while back, I felt this deep, deep calling to change my career path. I was in a stable job, but my soul felt stagnant. I set the intention. I am working in a field that is creative, fulfilling, and financially abundant. I had no idea what that looked like or how I would get there. My conscious mind immediately went into panic mode. Should I go back to school? Should I start networking? Should I blindly apply for jobs on LinkedIn? But I remembered this principle. I let go. I just lived my life. One Saturday, I had this random, unshakable urge to visit an old, dusty used bookstore across town. I hadn't been there in years. It made no logical sense. I just felt like I had to go. So I go. I'm wandering the aisles, not looking for anything in particular, just enjoying the smell of old paper. I turn a corner and literally bump into a former colleague I hadn't seen in 5 years. We start catching up, just small talk. What are you up to these days? He tells me he just started a new company in a fascinating, emerging creative field I had never even heard of. He said they were growing so fast they couldn't find good people, and then he pauses, looks at me and says, "You know, with your background, you would actually be perfect for this. We don't even have a job posting up yet. Would you be open to just having a coffee to talk about it?" That was the bridge, do you see? The intention was set. The bridge instantly formed. My job wasn't to figure out how to meet this person. My job was simply to follow the inexplicable urge to go to a bookstore. That was the first step on the bridge. Then I had to agree to the coffee. That was the next step. Each movement was natural, effortless, and prompted by an inner nudge. I couldn't have planned that in a million years. The conscious mind is clumsy. It tries to build a rickety rope bridge, while the universe has already constructed a grand, golden gateway for you. You just need to trust the process and walk. So what trips us up? If the bridge is always there, why does it sometimes feel like we're stuck? It's because we don't trust the bridge. We sit down in the middle of it and start overthinking. We pull out our phones and try to Google other, faster bridges. We see a fork in the road, and instead of feeling for the intuitive pull, we freeze in a panic of analysis paralysis. Or worst of all, we start doubting that the destination is even real, and we turn around and walk back to where we started. The doubting mind, the worry, the anxiety, the need to control the how, these are the things that make you stop walking. This is the resistance that so many people talk about. The resistance isn't some external force fighting you. The resistance is you, refusing to take the next gentle, inspired step because it doesn't look like what you expected. You want to manifest a loving partner and you get an urge to join a pottery class. Your logical mind says, "That's silly. How am I going to meet my partner there? I should be on dating apps 24/7. It dismisses the inspired step. But maybe the person teaching that class has a nephew who is your soulmate. Maybe the friend you make there will invite you to a party where you meet them. The universe sees the entire tapestry. We only see the single thread in front of us. Our only job is to trust that thread. So, how do we get better at walking? How do we learn to trust the bridge and move across it with grace and speed? The answer is so profoundly simple that we tend to dismiss it as a spiritual cliché. You have to live in the present moment. That's it. That's the entire secret. When you are fully and completely absorbed in the now, you quiet the frantic, analytical mind. When you're in the flow of your work, completely lost in a creative project, having a deep conversation with a friend, or simply savoring the taste of your morning coffee, you are not worrying about the future. You are not dissecting the past. In that state of presence, you get out of your own way. You create a space of quiet clarity. And in that quiet space, the next step on your bridge can make itself known. The intuitive nudge, the inspired thought, it can finally break through the noise of your anxiety. This is why your manifestations so often seem to show up when you've given up on them. It's not that you gave up the desire, it's that you gave up the struggle. You let go of the desperate need to control. You finally just started living your life again. And in that state of presence and surrender, you started walking naturally across the bridge that was there for you all along. You allowed yourself to be guided. So I invite you to re-examine your own journey. Where are you trying to force the outcome? Where are you trying to build the bridge yourself instead of simply looking for the next stepping stone that has already been laid out for you? Are you spending more time anxiously checking for results than you are simply living and enjoying the gift of this present moment? Your power is not in the struggle. Your power is in the calm, quiet knowing that it is already done. Your desire for a new reality has been heard, and the path has been paved. The time it takes for you to see it with your own eyes is just the time it takes you to walk it with your own feet. Don't worry about the distance. Don't worry about how long the bridge is. Your only task, your only sacred duty, is to take the very next step right here, right now, with a sense of peace and trust. Live your beautiful life fully right now. And before you know it, you will look up and realize you've arrived. Because the destination was, and always is, absolutely inevitable.